Hello, my dear listeners. It's your host, Mehek Tareen, and I'm super duper excited about today's episode of EnglishYaari Engage. We're diving into something that confuses a lot of English learners: phrasal verbs. What confuses them the most is how two different words, when paired up, suddenly mean something totally different. Isn't that right? But what to do? Phrasal verbs, as you already know, are an important element if you want to sound fluent and elegant. It's important to master a few basic ones to start off with. So, in today's podcast, we're breaking down some basic yet very powerful phrasal verbs that you can throw into your conversations from day zero. Let's jump right in. The first one on the list is fuel up. And the phrasal verb to fuel up is a very commonly used one. Just as a car needs its fuel to run, similarly, we also need our fuel in the form of food or drinks to keep us going. So, this phrasal verb is about replenishing your energy by eating or by sipping on a beverage. So, imagine this. Before a crazy workday, you gotta fuel up with a good breakfast. Or if you're a gym lover, you can find yourself using this phrasal verb by saying, after my intense workout at the gym, I better fuel up with a protein packed smoothie. But this phrasal verb can also be used to talk about fueling up of your vehicles, plain and simple. So you probably need to fuel up your car before you leave for that long road trip. The second one is to head out. No, here the phrasal verb head out does not mean physically losing your head. This one's about moving towards a destination or doing something elsewhere. For example, I'm gonna head out to the gym. You can also head out to work. You can head out for parties. You can head out to movies, or practically anywhere but here. Thirdly, catch up is another gem of a phrasal verb. Remember when you used to play a ball in your childhood? Someone threw a ball at you and you caught it. It's actually quite similar to that. It means to receive. To receive the latest information or spend some time with someone after a really long time to get an update about what's new in their life. You can use this one in multiple situations. You can catch up with friends. You can catch up on work, catch up on news. Or like me, if you have a lot of tasks pending, you can say, I need to catch up on yesterday's unfinished tasks. Next up is to take up. And here the phrasal verb to take up doesn't mean picking someone up literally. It means starting a new activity or task. Like I decided to take up painting over the weekend. Or I decided to take up a salsa dancing class. Because why not? Ask yourself, when was the last time you took up something challenging? And finally, on the flip side, another phrasal verb to turn down. Sadly, this phrasal verb has nothing to do with lowering the volume, but it just simply means saying no or rejecting something. Like, I had to turn down the weekend getaway because of my work calls. And have you recently turned down any offers or invitations? This, my dear listeners, brings us to the end of today's podcast. I hope these phrasal verbs are now your new buddies. If not, no worries. Give it another listen. Start tossing them in your conversations and see the magic happen. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and until next time, happy listening.